glad we're in. It starts with that. I thought we had to win to get in. Bob just told me that walking in. So, but that's cool, but it doesn't make me feel better right now.
Kyle Shanahan, after Sunday's game, congratulations, you're in the playoffs like they weren't going to be. Condolences. Lost at home to the Atlanta Falcons.
Skater guy wasn't happy right there.
No, he wasn't happy.
Not good ollies and turns and flips with his skateboard yesterday.
We thought that they would win. We thought that they would not have that.
No.
And that because he said Friday.
Right.
It's very easy to get his players to understand this is a trap game because all he has to do is show them what they did to the Saints in the same building where the 49ers barely escaped with a win. The Falcons went in there and kicked the crap out of the Saints. That's all you need to show.
Yeah.
But, look, they're tired. They haven't had their bye in weeks. It was week 4. They really need a playoff bye, and they may not get one.
Beat-up football team right now.
If they have to play wild card weekend at Dallas or at Philly, that may not be good for the 49ers.
Well, I mean, it's been a long stretch, and they certainly have played a lot of physical football games. And what was it yesterday? 5 defensive starters weren't playing for them. Is that right? I mean, it was somewhere in that range.
But they've overcome that all year.
I know they have.
All year long.
I know. I'm just speaking to a bigger point of just like you said, they're kind of worn out, and it's the NFL. And, sometimes I think as football fans, and me included, we think it's like, oh, here's the number 1 team in football, and here's the number 24 team in football. They should just run them over. This is like college football, right? No, it's not like college football. It's the NFL. And on a given Sunday, when you got awesome players like Matt Ryan and Julio Jones on your team, and a motivated head coach like Dan Quinn, and then, yes, you catch a team like the 49ers coming off one of the hardest 3-game stretches in the history of the NFL as far as the team's record they're playing, one little letdown, and all of a sudden you look up and you go, holy cow, we're in a tight football game here against a team that we're clearly better than. And Matt Ryan and company took control of it. And, Kyle, I don't think had a great day. They weren't dominant on the offensive side of the ball, and I just think everything kind of caught up to them that way.
Yeah, and, the fact that the Falcons can win in Santa Clara, in New Orleans, but they otherwise are 3-9.
It's kind of crazy.
You see the outcome yesterday and you say maybe that saves Dan Quinn's job, but then you look at everything else they did this year and it's like, how can we justify continuing with Dan Quinn? And Arthur Blank, I think, still has a decision to make because the salary cap is going to force them to hang on to some guys that maybe a new coach would want to get rid of, and maybe it makes that job a little less attractive because you're not going to have the roster flexibility and you are going to have the cap issues. But I think the Falcons would love to get a reset, would love to get a do-over next year at 0-0 with an opportunity to start from scratch, because I think that the tone of your season really does get set those first few weeks.
Yeah.
And when you get some wins early, the confidence builds like it did for the 49ers, and the next thing you know, you're in a special season. And I think that could happen for the Falcons, too. It could happen for a lot of teams. You're right. In the NFL, the best teams, the good teams, are kind of packed tight together, and it's your schedule out of the gates. Do you have a bunch of tough games? Do you have the Vikings had to go to Minnesota. I mean, the Falcons had to go to Minnesota and face the Vikings right out of the gates.
Yeah.
That's a little more difficult than the draw that some of these other teams have gotten. So you do see how narrow the gap is in the talent in the NFL on a weekend like yesterday, and specifically a game like yesterday between the Falcons and the 49ers.
Yeah, you definitely do, and you're right. I mean, a season can be built on early season schedule and then the team's ability to stay healthy, and those are issues for the Atlanta Falcons. Health has been an issue really the last 2 years for their football team, but banged up on the offensive line early on, and they weren't playing that good there. Had some defensive injuries that hurt them, so they had to deal with that. And they just didn't weather the storm that well through that early mid-season part of the schedule, and it fell apart on them. But yesterday, I mean, again, I got to give Dan Quinn a lot of credit. Ken John Barter fumbles a punt and return. We just showed the highlight of it. The 49ers score a touchdown. They go up 19-10. 19-10 in the third quarter. I know I was sitting there going, okay, here we go. 49ers will put them away now. It's over. And I just think it's a tribute to them, the Falcons, I say, and they go down. They answer the bells. 9-play, 75-yard drive, touchdown, 19-17. The Niners answer back with a field goal. And Matt Ryan and Julio Jones say, screw it. It doesn't matter. We still got a touchdown wins this game. And they drive down, and it's Julio, Matt Ryan in the backyard, and they go down and make it happen.
Yeah, we both thought our pick of the 49ers covering was going to be accurate yesterday. yesterday,
right.
and then it all fell apart quickly. And 3 straight games now for the 49ers decided on the final play from scrimmage.
It's amazing.
And they lost 2 and they won 1. And still, all they have to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Now.
not that it's easy.
It
still was coming down to week 17 anyway. That's
right.
the thing.
You're right.
Now, the Rams are going to come in on Saturday night very desperate because it's a playoff game for them. But the 49ers know they're going to have to go to Seattle and win. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. I have a feeling it's going to come down to the last play.
It certainly will be an exciting game because, Seattle at home is going to battle and Russell Wilson and everything like that. But I think, you just made the point, really. 3 games in a row coming down to the last play with the 49ers. It's just not easy to answer the bell like that every week. So, there you are, human, feelings. Oh, we just beat the best team in football on the road, maybe the Saints. We're feeling good about ourselves. And the Atlanta Falcons are fighting for their lives right now. And it just shows you that even the playing
the Atlanta
field,
Falcons are playing for nothing right now.
I know. Well, Dan Quinn's fighting for his life. That's what I meant to say.
All right.
More.
Superlatives for Week 15. Coming up next, right here.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.